We're up, we're off, and we're running here at Barrow. Thank you for all of your support on the first 2 episodes that went live over the weekend. Very much appreciated, and a number of you are just as excited about the potential of this save as I am, which is great to see. Thank you as well for the support on the episode 1 of the Football Manager save as well, and especially thank you to all of those of you that went from that video to the second channel and subscribed over there. We hit 10,000 subscribers on the second channel over the weekend, which is brilliant. Thank you very much indeed for that. The streams continue, of course, and if you want to catch me live tonight, then there's a link in the description down to the Twitch channel, or if you missed a couple of streams, you want to catch up first, then check the second channel, again via the link in the description to Chesnoid Plays. You can crack on with your support of the Football Manager Journeyman save there. Right, at Barrow, I've taken on board a couple of your suggestions. Obviously, most notably, we have switched formation as of the last episode, but currently Pumphrey is in that CDM role. I have adjusted him, and as per your request, he is now being trained as a centre-back. So Pumphrey is being retrained as a centre-back. That's not going to take that long. Every youth player, including those in the youth academy, all now have development plans on them, so they're all going to grow as what I would like them to grow over the course of the next few weeks in save. So that's a start. I've also sent out the youth staff as per your request as well. So one was already looking in Scotland for attackers. We've sent Ellis Fry to England to search for physically strong players, and Nino Filipovic has gone to Ireland to search for playmakers, looking for the next Wes Hoolahan, the next Irish Wessie. So we'll wait and see what we get from them, but we're in a really remarkably good position in the league in 16th. Tranmere are our first opponents. They're in 20th. We've got 6 games for the month, so as is the case with every month at this level and all the way up until at least the Championship, it's very, very busy all the time. But we'll start by playing a game, and hopefully, in the not too distant future, we'll see some extra growth from the players. You've asked me to... Well, I said I wanted to kind of stunt the growth on Bull so that he doesn't disappear off into the universe with regards to his rating and just be too good for us. He's already kind of too good for us. So I've adjusted his development plan to change him to a striker, which is going to take about 2 years, but we'll still keep his stats ticking over. And hopefully in the meantime, we as a club can develop to the point where he's then in closer relation to the rest of the squad with regards to his rating, and we can keep him happy at the club and not have him feeling like he is deserving of being at a bigger club at a higher level. So that's going to be a tough one to try and manage, as is similarly going to be the same with Pumphrey as well, who obviously also has the potential to be special. There was some call to perhaps train Metcalf as a striker rather than a winger. I'm going to wait and see what we get from my next playmaker and attacker scout reports before making that decision either way. He doesn't have the best finishing stats, although nobody does in the club right now. So we'll wait and see how things progress with the next batch of youth players that we look to bring in. But now we have the next batch of games to play, and Rodri Pumphrey is playing his debut. Don't you know? Pump it up, Jolly. Oh, it's a lovely ball over the top to Woolery, who's in behind press at left back, who's making his debut today as well, alongside Rodri Pumphrey at CDM. So we've 2 debutants, although one is obviously a much more promising a prospect than the other. Ball into Jolly nicely, or Jolly, sorry, and Salem racing away here, looking for Metcalf. It's a just terrible pass. Going to take a little while to get back up to speed with this squad. It's been a day or 2 since I recorded the last 2 episodes whilst waiting for your feedback. So, yeah, hoping that I don't come across as too rusty in the games. We can actually still get some decent results. I hope for our excellent progress so far to be stunted a bit by my own inability to play half-decent football. If you're enjoying this series so far, though, please do ensure that you continue to hit the like button on every video. It really helps the channel grow, and it really helps push the videos to new audiences, as well as obviously ensure that you guys let me know that you're continually really enjoying the save. So please do keep hitting the thumbs up. It'd be great to see the support on this save last as long as physically possible with regards to your frequent continued return viewing and likes, etc., and comment ratio. So do continue to let me know your feedback. And obviously, if you have anything else to add to the past couple of episodes, then do continue to let me know that in the comment section down below. If we could hit over 1,000 likes again for episode 2, that'd be absolutely... Sorry, for episode 3, that would be absolutely brilliant. Thank you, boys. Hopefully, we'll actually have some goalmouth action to bring to you soon, rather than me just getting caught on the counter by Tranmere and them not being able to find the opportunity to score a goal. Hello. Into Metcalf and Salem, and Jolie's there. Salem's going to go again. Got support arriving from Pumphrey. And we use press. Coming forward from left back. Looking for Pumphrey again. Into the box. Has gotten Jolie there in support. It's actually ball. Oh, shot blocks. It's hitting Jolie, who surely was offside. But yeah, there we go. The offside decision given. Our first chance. Well worked, but well blocked and defended by Tranmere. That was travelling towards goal. And I don't think Jolie could have been further offside if he tried. In these early stages, in these early seasons, with players that are rated as lowly as they are, it is going to be difficult to have, you know, those free-flowing end-to-end 4-3 games that we became accustomed to in the higher divisions in other saves. Get there, Aloe. We could be in to make this 1-0, though, at the end of the first half. Oh, Aloe! He's got a goal! It's 1-0 to Barrow. Tranmere pushing for promotion in League 2 in real life this season. Going to have to settle for a playoff spot after losing or dropping points on the penultimate day. Cambridge United could have confirmed promotion either Friday night or even the week before, but we lost to Stevenage last week, and then on Friday night somehow managed to lose 5-4 away from home against Harrogate Town. If you saw my tweets on Friday night, you'll have seen the rollercoaster of emotions that I went through. And honestly, if that game had panned out in that scenario, strike, in the same way in an RTG episode, I don't quite know how mental I would have gone. Cambridge went 3-0 down inside the opening 15 minutes or so. So that goes over the bar from Jolly. To then bring it back to 3-2. To then be 4-2 down. To then bring it back to 4-4 and on paper be getting the point that we needed to guarantee promotion, only to then lose it 5-4 with 3 minutes to go. You could not predict what was going to happen next in that game, other than I was going to be losing my mind on social media, which is exactly what happened. Half an hour to play here, and thankfully no such drama in this game, although as you can see, Tranmere are still pushing to try and get themselves their first goal of the game. Goals are flying in between Southend and Carlisle, but provided no goals fly in here, we will get 3 points. But they are pressing hard, Tranmere, and being patient as well. It's been a sign of a signature, I guess, of their play so far in this game. They're not rushing things and playing risky passes, playing slow, measured football that, unfortunately for them, hasn't yet found them with a goal, but they've created more chances at the beginning of this second half than they did at any point in the first. And still, Stoddart keeps his clean sheet. Certainly been an upgrade on our initial goalkeeper, that's for sure, Stoddart. Really pleased with him so far, although obviously there's plenty of scope for growth still. 20 to go here, and make some changes to try and keep hold of this lead. Into Monty. Oh, it's going to reach him, isn't it? It has. Oh, off the inside the post. The pressure from the defender doing just enough, Neil Erdley, to put the attacker off and let him not get a clean strike on the ball. And as such, we've kept our clean sheet. But, my God, Tranmere are getting closer and closer. It's only a matter of time, surely, before the ball does end up in the back of the net. Here's Feeney. Oh, I tried to step in with the defender and couldn't quite get there. It's a nice block, but it's only fallen to Crawford. And Aloe, man, that got the goal, will clear the defensive line for us. And with just 10 minutes to go now, I still could not tell you if we're going to win this game. Tranmere have been very dangerous in the second half. You'll have seen from this highlight and the last one just how close they're getting now. Just need to hold on for that little bit longer. I'll try and mark everybody here, but I can't get everyone. Feeney tackled by Green, and that, oh no, as he's over on it, it's fallen kindly for me. Hopefully we can hold on to the ball now and see the game through. We may even have the opportunity, if I can find Salem, to finish the game off. He's in the box here. We have a second. We will get the victory at home against Tranmere Rovers. Let's go! Another set of 3 points for the Barrow boys, and we are flying up the mid-table. Final whistle sounds. Solid performance, solid victory against Tranmere Rovers. They were dangerous in spells, but I tell you what, young Dave Stoddart in goal stood firm, made a number of good saves. Slightly fortunate with a post hit, but we see the game out with a clean sheet and a 2-0 win. That sees us up in a lofty 13th in the League 2 table right now. Unfortunately, Allo is continually going out on international duty, which is a real frustrating side of obviously having a slightly higher rated player from a lesser well-known nation, or at least a lesser advanced footballing nation, where those lower rated players stand more of a chance of actually getting into their squad. Right, our first attackers from Scotland, we have Duncan McNeil and Dave Chisholm. Or Chisholm. Let's have a look. Crawley next to the top of the table, so we don't really stand a chance against them. Let's have a look and see what these attackers are like. Duncan is a striker. Chisholm is a centre-forward and a striker too, who has pace. His finishing stats not the worst at 53. Okay. Right, Duncan McNeil, I think, will stay where he is for now in this youth setup, but we will add some, to be honest, complete striker, just to try and improve his other stats. But I tell you what, Chisholm is probably going to come straight up to the starting lineup. Let's promote, actually, I'll put the development plan on him first. He's got 4-star already. What can I do to improve his sprint speed? Unfortunately, none of the options here, growth-wise, actually change his sprint speed, but, rather obviously, I'm going to change him to a striker so he suits our formation. It's going to take him 11 weeks to change from a centre-forward to a striker, but that's not a problem. He can fit straight into the starting lineup, and then Njoli's time as a starting player comes to an end, but he will, for the time being at least, still be on the bench. Andrew can come out, and Chisholm can come in. He can play at striker. It's on his list of positions, so I will leave him there for now, and hopefully with a morale boost and a sharpness boost, he'll get some positive stats there. He's right-footed, and 4-star is very, very good indeed. Okay, yet more positive moves for the squad. Let's continue on. Oh, actually, let's sim this one against Crawley. They're top of the table. I don't really stand a chance there anyway. Chisholm, on his debut, nobody gets a goal for either side. That'll do. A point against top of the league. Cambridge keep losing. Sort yourselves out, lads. Come on. Supposed to be one of the best sides in the league. We're only 3 points behind Cambridge United. With Bolton up next, we'll sim that one too. And then I think we'll play the next two. Those being Carlisle and Newport, I think. No, sorry, mate. You real-life players aren't going to get a look in for the time being, or at all. I can release up to 2 players a season, and I will look to do that as we lose 1-0 to Bolton. Unfortunately, we didn't even have a single shot. I will look to release players. I just want to make sure I've got enough money left so that I can improve my scouts later on in the season before I commit to them releasing a player, and obviously changing my budget. So his Reggie Metcalf's development plan has now changed to striker, which does up his overall a little bit, but I will move him back to being a default right winger so that he can continue to grow out on the right hand side, as we now have a new striker in at the club. So that's that done. And Pumphrey is changed to centre back as well, and he's 67 rated back there. Right, that means that Dennis is going to come back into the starting lineup. I'm going to take Don out. We'll put Pumphrey in there. Right, that means I can then switch back to the default 4-4-2 flat, because we have the centre mid in there, and eventually Allo will change to a default centre mid once his training has been completed, and he can crack on as well. Right, was it Carlisle and then Newport? It was Carlisle, Mansfield, and then Newport. Well, whilst we're still in this particular part of the highlight, and I'm still waffling on, let's sim this one as well, and we'll play the final 2 games of the month. That's not gone well. Salem with our only goal, as they score 4. Right? So, we were doing alright at the beginning of the episode. Slightly falling away there, though, as we continue on. Got a point against Crawley, though. 2 subsequent defeats. Let's try and bounce back then at home against Mansfield in played game number 2. Press into Dennis. Saw his first team spot disappear in front of his eyes, and all of a sudden he has it back again. Young Dennis. Although I have a funny feeling he won't be keeping it for too long. Salim to Chisholm. Chisholm. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I think it's Chisholm. Oh! Salim waiting in the middle to try and turn that home. Ball with the corner. Whipped really nicely. Up goes Press. Oh, it's gone in! Off the underside of the bar and over the line. The young, one of our lowest rated players, left back, Press, has the ball in the back of the net. Looped cross. He's won the header well into the ground off the underside of the bar and over the line. The keeper couldn't quite do enough as he was falling to the ground. Brilliant header. Textbook down into the 6-yard box. And, I mean, it's very lucky to go over the line, perhaps. But we'll take it. And I think it's my lowest. Oh, no, he's up to 50. He's up to 50. He's growing well. Go on, my son. Let's go. Barrow 1. Mansfield 0. We're flying, boys. A little bit of fancy footwork. Chiller your bean. Press is the man of the moment right now, so he's not going to let you past. Can just go over the top of him, though. Decent ball into the middle and away by Erdley, only as far as Maris. Has the odd worldie from 30 yards in his locker, George Maris. Here's Nicky Law in the box. He's gotten away from me, but he won't get away from Green. And Bull will get that forward and press. Pressing forward on the break from left back. Out wide. Oh, Bull, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Go on, son. I've got plenty of options in the middle. Can we find any of them? It's a lovely delivery. No! Oh, how have we not scored there? I can't believe that's not gone in for 2. Unbelievable off the woodwork. He's got to tuck that home, though, hasn't he, Allo? He's got to turn that into the back of the net. He could. It's harder to miss from there, surely. He and Clark linking up well. Green drawn across to deal with it. Press our goal scorer. Drawn out of position. Here's Nicky Law. It's a nice ball through. Stoddart does just enough. Out to Russian block at the feet of the striker. With 10 minutes to go in this first half, we hold on to our 1-0 lead for now. We scored from a corner. They won't score from a corner yet. And, oh, I was trying to ensure that Barry couldn't keep that in. That's a decent delivery. Away, please. Oh, the attempted clearance just cannons off a Mansfield man. Quinn's got the runner on the outside, and this is getting dangerous at the end of the first 45. Lofted up and away, this time by Erdley. And finally, we get free. Chisholm to Dennis. Poke it there for Ball, and we might actually be about to score a second of our own. Ball breaking free. Ball! Yeah! There we go! Our main man! Our highest rated player, our biggest future star, makes it 2. Salim. Poked to Allo. Back to Salim. Could we make it 3 before half-time? We will, you know. This side is really starting to click. Barrow 3, Mansfield 0. Wow, Salim is proving to be very deadly for such a lowly rated striker at 55. He can find the back of the net well, can't he? Great strike, and Samar Salim gives us a really healthy advantage at the break. Out to the left back. I'm going to go inside because Bull looked like he was going to run offside, and he definitely did. Chisholm in the box. Chisholm! No goal on debut yet for the new youngster, the new striker. Whoa! Can't get himself on the score sheet with that effort at the beginning of the second half. The game is probably won. I hope it's won anyway. By this point, that's a foul probably. So he can have... I can kind of almost force the ball to him to try and get him a goal if we want to. But I'll try and play just naturally because that evidently has been working quite well for us. And defensively, we've been so solid, so much more solid than I expected us to be by this point in the save. Entertaining stuff in League 2, isn't it? I love this lower league football. It's just always action. Unfortunately, some of that action includes us conceding goals. 3-1. Scott. Out wide to Benning. Keeps it in nicely. He's got options in the middle and delivers well. Oh, Pumphrey might be pushed forward into a midfield position now, but still getting involved at the back. Oh, that's a really nice throw. And Quinn finds Clark well. There's a man free here. Well, that was the best goal that the AI have scored against us so far this season. That was exceptional all around. The vision to see the man free with a long throw. Then, first touch inside, second touch cross, flick it on, first time volley. There is nothing you can do against that, even with much higher rated players. we wouldn't have kept that out. That was a ridiculous goal for Mansfield. And now I am nervous as our 3-0 lead has shortened to just 1 goal. Don't do it to me, Mansfield. Don't do it to me. We've had some late equalisers in this save already, most notably the one against Harrogate in our first played game when we were trying desperately to get ourselves a win. Here's Quinn, and away by Green. We might just hold on for this. There's only seconds to go, and hopefully they'll go backwards if I can just force them to do so. The referee could do me a favour. Do me a favour. He's done me a favour. We've got the win. Hard fought against Mansfield. It was definitely a game of 2 halves where we dominated the first and they dominated the second. But we come out victorious and on top. Those 3 points will come in handy, actually. The league in League 2, in fact, all of the lower leagues, is always really tight in the mid-table. And it will continue to be so. Whether we can somehow catch that playoff chasing group, I don't know. We're only 7 points off 7th. But at the same time, we're only 7 points. In fact, we're only 5 points off 22nd. So we can't get too carried away. 1 game to go against Newport County then. And then we can have a... Well, actually, we'll get the next batch of scout reports back from the ones that we sent out at the beginning of the episode before we get to the Walsall game in the Cup. Hammond, Padraig Hammond. Very dangerous striker. Gambin. Fouled him from behind, but we get away with it. Bennett into Nicky Maynard again around the corner to Sheehan. Newport, a side that traditionally with Cambridge we always struggle against. But I'm hoping with Barrow it's a different story. Crawley have taken the lead in their game. And Newport have taken the lead in this game. Thumped by Padraig Hammond. He was not missing that, was he? I mean, if the keeper got in the way of that, then both the ball and the goalkeeper end up with the back of the net there. He put his foot right through it. Nearly broke the net. Ridiculous. Newport 1. Barrow 0. Oh, it was past him before he even could react, the goalkeeper. Didn't stand a chance. Inside quickly to Dennis, who's really starting to frustrate me in that centre mid-roll. But hopefully, after this game, oh, it's a lovely ball through to Padraig Hammond, and he's done it again. Simple ball unlocks our defence. That's frustrating. I'm hoping that we can, in the scout reports that are coming in the next week, at the end of the episode, we can find a centre mid that is better than Dennis. We were a lot more solid in the middle when we had Pumphrey in there, but obviously he's clearly much better off at centre-back. So we have like a higher rated player at centre-back. We have a higher rated player at centre-mid. Hopefully, you never know, we might end up with a high-rated player at striker as well eventually. I could change Bull to a striker. We are changing Bull to a striker, but not to actually use him there. Bull could play at striker and could be very good there as well. But the core of the side is looking good, provided I can get rid of Dennis and replace him with someone that's slightly better. Not even slightly better, considerably better, please. Press out to Bull. Salim's called for it. He's not going to get there at the back post. Oh, not going to get there either. Sheehan over the top to Haynes. Onside here. Haynes. Options in the middle. There's Sheehan. Oh, get rid, please. Pumphrey's done well enough. If we can keep them to 2, then we stand a chance, I think. There's no reason why... we haven't kept them to 2. Literally immediately. Hammond... At the double? No. At the treble? Yes. Hat-trick for Padraig Hammond. 3 goals for Newport. Gets away. Oh, it's a mistake from the defender. It's just poor. It's just poor. But there are going to be moments like that in these early seasons where we are going to be poor. But it's not just individually there that we've been poor. We just haven't been good enough as a side in this one either. And it's going to be a convincing victory for Newport over us here, unfortunately. But... you have to take the rough with the smooth. And, well, this is pretty rough. Sheehan, nice little scoop into Maynard. What the defender's doing there, swinging at nothingness when I haven't pressed any buttons. Padraig Hammond has already got 3. He's looking to set up a 4th and has done so. Nicky Maynard powers in the header. And this might well end up being our biggest defeat of the season so far. And solely down to Padraig Hammond with 3 goals and assists. 3 goals and an assist. Sorry. He is single-handedly destroying us. Not necessarily played that badly in this game either. We just haven't had the luck. Or they've been too good. Or more than likely, quite a large, significant slice of both. Hammond over the top. Looking for the run of Nicky Maynard. Eardley could get there first. He hasn't. Now Nicky Maynard's in to maybe get an assist of his own. Sheehan, yeah. Help! It's 5-0 to Newport. Oh, Eardley just couldn't do enough. And then he's just got too many options, really, in the middle. Too many options. A rather solid bump back down to ground here. We got a win in the first played game, a win in the second, and this is a reminder that we are by no means the finished article at this level. Poke that through there for Press, who's forward from left back. Support arriving, and we do have one. Very strongly struck by Salem. I mean, grabbing the ball out the back of the net and rushing to the halfway line is probably pointless when you're 4 goals down with 3 minutes remaining. But at least we haven't been whitewashed. At least we haven't been whitewashed. We've shown some promise in front of goal in this game, but it's been rather resounding in defeat here. It happens. It will happen again, but we're ready for it. It's frustrating, obviously, when it happens, but we know that we're going to go through match days like this. Don't make it 6. We know we're going to go through match days like this, but it's literally inevitable in the scenario that we've artificially put ourselves in. Congratulations, Patrick Hammond. You've destroyed me there. They had 7 shots and scored all but 1. I had 1 shot and scored it. If only I could have had as many shots as they did, maybe it would have been a 6-6 draw. That's not gone well for us. Allo has completed his move to centre mid, which is fantastic. Stays at 67 rated, but still delighted to see him get the change in rating. Or change in position at least. I've got it under control, thank you, Allo. It's not a problem. Wasn't an easy decision, Mikhail. And, shush you. Right, we should get our scout reports back from the ones that we sent out at the beginning of the episode. There we go, as we advance next, and we have indeed. So, Filipovic was looking for a playmaker in Ireland. We have Aaron Costello. Robert McMullen, 1.1 million. He could be a goer. Now, in scenarios where we have this many people come back, I'm not going to call everybody up because, rather obviously, if I did that, I'd end up with 7,000 players in the squad. But Robert McMullen is definitely one to call up. And there was another that was like 300 grand. Was it Daniel Rooney? No. Was it David Gormley? 375 grand for David Gormley. We'll call those 2 up. And the rest we'll just leave for now. And then let's see what we got here. Looking for physically strong, wasn't it, back here? 80 grand is certainly not going to be worth it. 200 grand might be. 150. Maybe we just give them an extra month just to see what they're all about. At 5'9", he might be a wing back, Jaden. We'll give those guys another month. I don't want to just rush into it. Now that we have at least a decent squad, a decent 11, let's not lunge into other options. Right, so Gormley's currently 54 rated as a right mid, but there's also Robert McCullen who's 63 rated as a right mid. Although he doesn't look like, with that lack of pace, he's going to be that good at right mid, but he can play at centre mid, and that might be what we're looking for. His short passing isn't amazing. Gormley's obviously got a long way to go still, but he's got the physical stats to actually be decent out wide, whereas McMullen looks like he'd definitely be better as a central midfielder. So let's see how long it's going to take to train him there. 32 weeks. It's probably worth it, to be fair. Probably worth it to train him there. So let's do that. I'll call him straight up to the starting lineup. Gormley, I'll add a development plan on to hopefully improve his dribbling and his shooting, or maybe his dribbling and his passing. His finishing's 57. He won't be bad at strike. I think a lot of the youngsters that come in aren't as good as they should be in the position that they have, but would be better elsewhere. But unfortunately, a number of the wingers are great at striker, but if you change them all, you end up with 17 strikers and 2 wingers. So I have to be careful that I don't overly change too many people. Wide playmaker's probably the thing to do then for Gormley. I will call him up to the squad because obviously it will allow us to remove a couple of others. Duncan McNeil. I mean, I'll call him up to the first team squad because it means we can let more real-life players go. But Bramwell can come off the bench then, and Gormley can come. In fact, no, Gormley is going to go into the starting lineup there at centre mid. I swear it said he could play at centre mid. Was that... Oh, no, it was McMullen that could play at centre mid, wasn't it? McMullen can play at centre mid. There you go. Just a -3 for now, and that will change. He will get positive boosts. So let's see what else we can do. Goodwin's now been changed to a striker, so he can now play up top if needs be. Although he's lower rated than McNeil. So we have some more options now at least. Gormley can come in for Gribbin, and we're very nearly there with the forward areas. I'm still lacking wing backs and centre backs, but hopefully that will come with those physically strong players. But I mean, I'm pleased with that McMullen. That's a great signing. Our midfield is actually looking pretty tasty now. If we could just get a better right winger, then we might be solid there. Is Gormley better? He's better. Yeah. The answer is yes. Gormley just is better. He's better everywhere. And pace is similar. Sorry, Metcalf, but you've been replaced, sir. All right, we now have an even better midfield. The side is coming along, but we could clearly do with some players still in a couple of positions. But the squad's getting there. The squad is very much getting there. Okay, good. Round 1 of the FA Cup will kick us off tomorrow against Walsall. But for now, that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Again, please do let me know your continued feedback in the comment section down below. Please hit that thumbs up button. It really does help push the videos to new audiences and help the channel grow. And, of course, as ever, I'll see you on stream tonight. Bye-bye.